What's up, guys? Mr. Nose Hoops back today with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the heroic rise of Tyler Herro to help carry this Miami Heat team right now to be a playoff team. Herro's averaging career highs, 24, 5, and 5 on 48 from the field, 42 from 3 on 9 threes a game. I think it's 10 if you round it up, which is remarkable efficiency, and then 87 from the line. So today, guys, before we get into anything, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into why Tyler Herro has saved the Miami Heat. And the first thing I want to talk about is just Herro as a scorer, right? Now, Herro's not going to be able to make them all, right? But this is a beautiful, right, catch and shoot opportunity at the buzzer, right? You got to do what you got to do. And I love here, right, he'll get the Highsmith screen because he wants someone like Garland on him, right? He's not that good of a defender. Herro does a great job here, right? Even though he misses, like, it's a little bit of a rough gather, but I like that Herro's attacking because a major facet of why Herro, I think, has been so much better is Herro's actually cut the mid-range game out of his bag. So according to Cleaning the Glass, we have seen a 20% decrease in the frequency of mid-range shots from Tyler Herro this year. And he's still about like 50% actually, which is a career high in the mid-range that he has shot this year. So while he's taking less mid-ranges, he's still hitting them at a higher volume. Like, the actual efficiency is higher. So I think now he's become better at picking and choosing his shots, right? And I think he's needed to because, quite frankly, right, Jimmy for a lot of the season has been underwhelming. Ban's been extremely underwhelming. And even here, right, easy lays. I think Herro did something that they were sort of talking about because before, the conversation was like, oh, where do him and Rozier go together? Like, do we just stick with Rozier as a starter and then bring Herro to the bench? But no. Instead, right, like, there are going to be misses here, right? My point is not to say, like, this is not a perfect player, right? Like, but when you can get moments like this, right, so he gets, the screen action, Garland stuck on his side, you get that dribble pull-up. Again, not having to be as overly screen dependent or as, like, heavy on, I got to create through whatever, right? Like, a shot like this. I love this. Why do I like this? Because he gets Garland, comes to the perimeter. Then he gets Herro, gets him to that outside shoulder. Now, it's a bit tough because you also, again, it's a tough shot. But at least the man in front of him, right, Garland basically has to concede and not give up the foul, which in this case would have become an and one. So I think what Herro's been able to do, right, like, even though there's missed shots here, it's one, the part of the reason I included it was to show this guy is not a perfect player now. Like, he's not like the greatest player to ever play basketball. But he has, I'll be quite frank, throughout this stretch of the year so far, about what is the Heat? The Heat have played about like 23 games. He's been their best player. I don't think it's even close. Bam offensively this year especially was horrid, terrible. Jimmy's been in and out of the lineup already. He'll have some nights he'll give you 30. The next night he'll give you like 10. And then it's like, okay. Herro has been there damn near night in, night out, right? And when he hasn't been there, they usually are losing the game and it's not really close. But they just went up into the best team in basketball record-wise, right? And he dominated. Right, like, he gets Niang on him, one-on-one, separates himself just a little to get the floater. Like, I love that he's not trying to force that to become his usual shot, though. It's something where now you have to respect his three ball, right? And sometimes, he has to take, stupid shots like this, but that's just because there's no shot clock left. But since you have to respect that three ball so much, right, his three ball frequency has gone up like 10%. He's like almost, I think it's like 53, 54% of his shot diet now, according to Cleaning Glass, is a three ball. I think Herro has diversified his scoring so much so in terms of now it will either get to the rim, right, and you could foul me, whatever, or I'm going to shoot the lights off. And you're going to have to respect that, right? Because even here, there's a Hayward Highsmith could have rolled possibly, right? And Herro probably could have dished it right to him. I think Herro stepping up as a nearly 25 point per game scorer is crucial for this team if they really want to compete for anything in this league, let alone the Eastern Conference. So I think this diversification of his scoring is an important point. But now I want to talk about what Herro has done as a playmaker. And then I think the second most important thing is something a lot of people might not talk about, understandably so, because scoring is the most important facet in basketball, most likely at this point. I think that what Tyler Herro has done as a shot creator, not for himself necessarily, but for others, is going to be crucial to talk about. So let's get right into it. Right here, you got Jovic, Jimmy, Rozier, all here. Now you got Braun one-on-one. Whole team collapses in. Herro does a perfect job just dumping it to Jovic, who gets that easy bouncing in, right? And I think Herro being able to create through, again, the pressure he creates is important. Now, I love this here because, again, you have the two-way street. Jokic commits up, doesn't really jump, but at that point, right, it's an easy feed for Bam, and if he really wanted to, he could have made the floater, but he had those two routes, which I think are extremely important. And I think, again, we see that time in and time out, right? Now you get the screen action. You get Peyton Watson on him. Now, again, Duncan Robinson pulls it up. Not all of these assists, I've talked about this already. Assists are a little bit of a misleading stat at times, even for a guy like Jokic, Luka, like any of those top guys in the league. Some of those assists you're going to look at and you're going to be like, yeah, is that an assist? But either way, again, Hayward, I think Herro becoming a quicker passer too. I think before Herro took so long to process whether or not he even had a shot or had a look, right? I love this pump, right? MPJ then respects it, forces it out to Robinson, and it's beautiful. Because, again, I think this is part of the reason why we've seen 53% of his shots being threes. He's 42%. You gotta respect it. You can't just sink off. And at this point, the rest of the team is all over there. Robinson's wide open, and that's a three. Right? I think that's how they really do their best work, is Herro has basically forced the perimeter to be so much more deadly. Because you have to remember, right? Bam and Jimmy are interior kind of players. Jimmy loves that mid-range game. He can shoot, but that's not really his game. He likes to attack the paint. Bam is more of a post-paint guy, even though he's bricking layups, but that's a different story for another day. I think, quite frankly, right, Herro has made the Heat better in terms of now you have to respect their perimeter game outside of just their one specialist that they'll try and throw out there. Right, so now Herro waits. I love this back cut, right? So just to get it over again, Jamal starts ball watching, right? And when he does, Richardson hits the cut perfectly, bounces it to him, gets the reverse scoop. Right, that's a tough finish. And again, pin down screens. I think Herro in general has just made much easier and quicker decisions now. So I think things just look so much smoother. And I think that's important because this Heat team struggles to generate offense, quite frankly. And I think Herro emerging as a true offensive threat consistently, that's the only way you're going to hope to fight to compete on a night-to-night basis. I love this feed, by the way, right? So he gets the screen, waits for Highsmith, right? Jamal commits over Christian Braun's over out on Rozier, gets the three ball to fall, right? I think ultimately Tyler Herro is proving he can be, not necessarily, I don't think he's good enough to be primary playmaker ball handler. I think part of the reason the Heat are still struggling, they're not completely out of the rut, but he has saved them. I think his playmaking is why, because if they ever found a true primary ball handler distributor, then I think this team could be going somewhere. So with this all in mind, right, with Tyler Herro making a jump as a scorer, making a jump as a playmaker, honestly, yes, I do think he has saved the Miami Heat. He has quite frankly been their best player night in and night out. I get it. Bam brings you the defense, but his lack of offense has been quite appalling. And even then, right, Tyler Herro's going to have a night where he could get you a couple steals a game. Excuse me. And I think either way, this is a team that struggled offensively. They always have, they always will. So I think for him to have said, no, I'm stepping up to the plate. There is no more discussion about if I'm a Rozier. No, I'm starting. I will help us get buckets either through my points or through creating for another. I think what Tyler Herro has done is ultimately saved the Miami Heat from honestly, if they were still as rough as it was looking at the beginning, Jimmy Butler probably is getting traded at the trade deadline. I don't even think there's a second doubt. But now they're like the 5 or 6 seed in the East. You know, they're looking pretty decent. So yeah, Tyler Herro's been the savior. Let me know what you guys think down below. Is this realistic from Tyler Herro? Will this stay that way? Or do we think that the fall off is on the way? As always, guys, this is Adams for No Hoops. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're on the goal to 1K, people. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. Peace out.